So, you have your headline and maybe a subhead, but the headline isn't the hook. The hook is the beginning of your description or your ad, and it better be compelling and interesting. It's the first line of your text. The hook is the thing that makes them want to read your text besides the headline. Think of your headline and hook as the beginning of a slippery slide. One sentence make the reader eager to read the next one, etc. This term was invented by famous direct response copywriter Joe Sugarman, by the way. To achieve this, your hook has to be intriguing and interesting. If your reader is your target customer, he should want to continue reading after the hook. FYI, the target customer is the customer you're aiming at with your copy. For instance, if you sell stylish trucker hats, your target customers will likely be 20-something or young skater boys. It will not be grandpas or corporate businessmen. But don't worry, we are going to see this in section 3. Let's come back to hooks. There are really many of them. First, you have classic hooks, like this one. If you're searching for a product to achieve X in Y time, then this product will wipe you off your feet, which works amazingly well. This is one of the most known hooks, but it's effective, so why throw it away? Then you have the if then this is for you hook, which addresses pain points your potential customers might have. Let's see some examples. If you hate ironing as much as we do, but think that the classic iron-free shirts are suited for grandpas, then our new collection is made for you. So here we are selling iron-free shirts, and we address the pain point that most iron-free shirts look a little bit old-fashioned. Here's another one. If you're tired of all the get-rich-quick scams out there and are desperately searching for a genuine and honest way to make a passive income online, then this offer will knock you off your feet. The last hook was actually used by a customer of mine. I wrote it for him, and it brought in 5 figures from a $4 products in 1 month. I'm not saying that it's because of the hook, but it shows that it was good copy. So maybe it was the hook, who knows. Another classic way to do it is with an open loop. Don't give all the information away. So this is a pro tip. Check the top articles on Upworthy, Dig, BuzzFeed. Many blog posts use open loop. Sometimes they are a little spammy, like on BuzzFeed. I don't like BuzzFeed, but hey, it works. My favorite hook, the question hook. I like this one a lot because it gives your customer the impression that you're reading his mind and he feels connected to you. Aren't you tired of getting beaten because you're unable to smash the tennis ball on your opponent's side of the field? Don't you hate knowing in advance that you're gonna lose because you don't know how to dominate your adversary? Is there something more humiliating than becoming your opponent's puppet as soon as he notices that you have no clue on how to play aggressively? If your answer is hell yes, then this training is for you. By asking these questions, you root out everybody who is not your target customer. With this approach, somebody who knows how to play tennis aggressively will stop reading. No problem. On the other hand, your target customer will keep reading and mentally shout yes as he reads every single one of these questions. He feels like you get his problems and gets more and more psyched as he sees how deeply you understand his concerns. When writing copy, the worst mistake you can make is to please everybody. Don't. Only try to convert the people who could eventually buy a product. It's not your job to convince people who are not interested at all. So let's come to the last kind of hook we're gonna talk about, the story hook. I wrote one example for you. Just pause the lesson and read it so I can explain what I did here. Are you ready? Cool, then let's analyze it. See what I did here? I wrote this in about 15 minutes. It's easy when you're used to writing. Another reason to practice. I played tennis for a while and I really had problems with smashing and being offensive. By telling my story, I relate to my potential customer who also has problems with smashing, serving effectively and so on. I connect on an emotional level and he wants to read more because, let's face it, people love stories, especially stories with a twist in them, like John Carlton, legendary copywriter, often points out. You certainly have noticed that the main idea is the same all the time for all hooks. Only the structure changes and the degree of personality you put inside. The story hook is more personal, but you have to test which one is more effective for you. So that's about it. The hook is the place where you point out the problem, show how painful it is, describe it in a way they feel like you're reading their mind, and introduce slowly the solution. It's the place where you get your target customer pumped up and say goodbye to everybody who isn't. You could go as far as writing in your hook, if you don't like, need, want to learn X, then don't bother reading any further. This just helps you bond even more with your target customer and shows that you don't want to sell to anybody at any price. It makes you seem more honest. So that was it for the hook part and for the first letter of iDocker. Want to see how to handle the I? Good. Then the adventure continues.